Look closely at this. It isn't one robot hand learning to spin a pen, it's 10,000 of them, all at once, inside a simulation, running far faster than real life. None of them were told how. They are all figuring it out, by trial and error. And to a growing camp of researchers, this, not the chatbot, is what the actual road to intelligence looks like. Here is the claim, stated plainly. Reinforcement learning, run on a physics engine, is the real path to artificial general intelligence, not the chatbot you've been talking to. This, and the recipe is shockingly simple, just two ingredients, a world that AI can act inside, and a way to learn from what happens. Try something, see the result, get a reward, then repeat forever. Because here's the uncomfortable part. Today's smartest models have read almost everything humans ever wrote, and they have never once touched the world they describe so confidently. A real robot lives in real time. 1 hour of practice takes 1 hour, but a simulated robot, you can run thousands of copies in parallel, hundreds of thousands of times faster than the clock on the wall, and nobody hands it the answer. You give it a goal, stand up, walk, grab the cube, and a reward whenever it gets closer. It then discovers the how entirely on its own. This is not a someday idea. Back in 2019, a robot hand trained entirely in simulation solved a Rubik's Cube in the real world, the equivalent of about 13,000 years of practice compressed into days. Now master one skill, then another, then 1,000 of them, inside a world you can spin up infinitely. That is the whole bet, that general intelligence grows out of general experience. But look again at the title, Path to AGI, with an asterisk, because everything you just saw happened inside a simulation. And a simulation, no matter how gorgeous, is not the real world. So, two honest questions. Is this even possible? And if it is, how do you actually do it correctly? Let's walk through all of it, from the philosophy to the hardware to the one catch that nobody promoting this idea likes to mention out loud. Start with an idea that has aged frighteningly well. In 2019, Richard Sutton wrote a short essay called The Bitter Lesson, 70 years of AI history distilled into one painful truth. The methods that win are almost never the ones we handcraft with clever human knowledge. They are the simple ones that just scale with raw computation. There is a twin to that idea, and it explains everything. It is called Moravec's paradox. The things we think are hard, chess, calculus, passing an exam, turn out to be easy for a machine. And the things a toddler does without thinking, walking across a room, picking up a toy, are brutally, almost impossibly hard. Sutton would know which is which. He is, more than anyone alive, the father of reinforcement learning, and he won the 2024 Turing Award for it. So when, in 2025, he sat down and called today's large language models a dead end, the entire field flinched. His argument is sharp. A language model imitates human text. It predicts what a person would probably say next, but it never sets its own goal, takes an action, and feels the consequence. It learns about the world without ever learning from it. Knowing is not the same as doing. Sutton and David Silver call what comes next the era of experience. Less learning from our data and far more from the agent's own actions it takes and rewards it actually feels. And the cheapest, fastest, safest place to gather a whole lifetime of that experience is a simulated world. We have already seen this exact story play out once. AlphaZero was handed nothing but the rules of chess and Go and a board to play on. No human games, no opening books, no advice. It played itself millions of times, and in a matter of hours it became the strongest player on Earth, inventing strategies humans had missed for centuries. A game is just a perfect tiny simulator. A physics engine is the very same trick, aimed at reality. Which is exactly why the physics engine matters so much. It is a world you can run 1 billion times over, cheaply, safely, without a single broken motor or shattered prototype, and far, far faster than reality will ever allow. So how does the learning actually happen? It is one loop, repeated forever. The agent observes the state of the world. It picks an action. The physics engine plays that action forward, one tick of simulated time, and a reward tells it, better or worse, around and around millions of times, and the reward is the whole ballgame. Make it too sparse, a point only when the robot fully succeeds, and the agent flails blindly, never stumbling onto the goal. This is the credit assignment problem. Out of 1,000 tiny moves, which ones actually deserve the praise? Shape that reward well, and learning clicks into place. None of this is new, by the way. The workhorse engine, Mujoko, has simulated jointed bodies since 2012. DeepMind bought it and gave it away free. What changed recently is not the physics, it is where it runs. We moved the whole simulation onto the GPU. And that unlocked the trick that changed everything: parallelism. Modern engines run thousands of these little worlds side by side on a single graphics card. Thousands of robots, all stumbling at once. So an agent can rack up years of lived experience in a single afternoon. NVIDIA built an entire stack around exactly this: Isaac Sim and Isaac Lab. You train an army of robots in simulation, every one of them falling and flailing in parallel, and then you ship the single policy that actually worked to one real machine in the lab. And in late 2024, it got genuinely wild. An open project called Genesis hit 43 million frames per second on a single gaming GPU, up to 80 times faster than the tools before it, and written, almost unbelievably, in plain Python. Genesis also points straight at the next leap: generative simulation. You describe a task in plain words, pick up the mug, climb the stairs, and the system writes the scene, places the objects, and even designs the reward function for you. The simulator starts building its own lessons. NVIDIA already shipped a taste of that. A project called Eureka let GPT-4 write the reward code itself, then critique and rewrite it over and over. With it, they taught a robot hand to spin a pen. The machine-written rewards beat expert human ones on 83% of the tasks they tested. And they did it with a curriculum. You don't ask a beginner to spin a pen on day one. You start with a trivial version, get that working, then make it a little harder, and harder again. The agent climbs a staircase of difficulty it could never have jumped in one go. There is one last trick that makes any of this survive contact with reality. It is called domain randomization. You shuffle the gravity, the friction, the lighting, the weight and color of every object, thousands of slightly different worlds, until the real world just looks like one more variation the agent has already conquered. Which brings us straight back to that asterisk. Because the single hardest problem in this entire field already has a name. It is called the reality gap. Simulators are brilliant at rigid robots and clean, simple contacts. They are still surprisingly bad at the messy stuff: soft cloth, squishy, deformable objects, real friction, fluids, the tiny jitter of an actual motor that's slightly worn, sensors that lie. A policy that looks utterly flawless in sim can faceplant the instant it meets the real world, and the smaller the error in the physics, the more confidently it fails. And reward is a loaded gun. Tell an agent to maximize a number, and it will often find the dumbest possible way to do it, exploiting a glitch in your physics, vibrating against a wall for points, instead of solving the task you actually meant. Researchers call it reward hacking, and it is absolutely everywhere. But the gap can be crossed. Back in 2019, a four-legged robot called Amy learned to walk entirely in simulation, and then walked and recovered from being kicked over out in the real world. Proof, in the flesh, that a policy born in a simulator can absolutely make the jump. NVIDIA's Jim Fan frames the fix as a pyramid, a vast base of cheap simulation generated by the million, a middle layer of real robot data, slow and expensive to collect, but grounded in hard truth, and human and internet knowledge sitting on top for context and language. No single layer is ever enough on its own. You need all three, stacked, feeding each other. There is also a rival idea gaining ground fast. Instead of hand-building the physics, you let a neural network learn the simulator itself. Google DeepMind's Genie 3 generates a playable, photoreal world from a single sentence in real time as you steer through it. A learned world model, not a coded physics engine, and not everyone thinks reward is even the main character. Yann LeCun argues intelligence comes from a world model, a system that learns to predict what happens next, mostly by watching, with reinforcement used only sparingly at the very end. Same goal, a very different engine driving it, and plenty of serious researchers reject the premise outright. A body that learns to walk is not obviously a mind that can reason. Language, abstraction, long-term planning, common sense, those might not simply fall out of pixels, joints, and motors, no matter how many lives you simulate. So how do you actually do this correctly? The teams making it work all rhyme. Train at massive scale in simulation, randomize everything that can vary, let a model generate the tasks and the rewards, and then fine-tune on a small amount of precious real-world data to finally close the last of the gap. And the newest models fuse it all together. Vision language action models, like Physical Intelligence's Pi Zero or Google's work, take a spoken instruction, look at a camera feed, and output raw motor commands. Language on top, physical skill underneath, both trained in simulation. The chatbot and the robot finally becoming one system, and it is already escaping the lab. The exact same playbook now trains humanoid robots, NVIDIA's GR00T, and the walking machines from Tesla, Figure, and others to balance, to walk, to handle real objects. Every bit of it learned first by the thousands inside a simulation, which quietly reframes the entire goal. Maybe the first true AGI isn't a smarter chatbot at all. Maybe it is an agent that genuinely understands the physical world because it actually lived in one. 10,000 simulated lives at a time, and then one real body to prove it. So, is RL on physics engines the path to AGI? Honestly, it is probably a path, not the path. It may well be the only way we currently know to grow real, physical intelligence from scratch, rather than just imitating it from text. But that asterisk, the leap from a flawless simulation to messy, stubborn reality, and the question of whether a body alone ever adds up to a mind, is still wide open, genuinely promising, still completely unproven. Quick recap: 2 ingredients, a world and a reward. 1 engine, massive, parallel, increasingly generative simulation, and 1 wall, the reality gap, the single thing this entire field is now racing, with billions of dollars and the best minds in robotics, to close. Whoever closes it first may well build the first machine that truly understands the physical world. If this finally made the idea click, subscribe. Cloud Codes takes apart one big system like this every single week. Build, solve, deploy, and I'll see you in the next